In this word problem, we have Mr. Gillen's smartboard breaks every 6 days. So as we go through, I'm going to highlight some important information. So his breaks every 6 days. Mrs. Sanborn's smartboard breaks every 8 days. If they break together, how much time before they break together again? So the fact that I want to know when they're going to break together again, and that for Mr. Gillen it's going every 6 days, and Miss Sanborn's is every 8 days, that gives me the clue that I'm looking for the least common multiple. So when I'm looking for the least common multiple, I'm going to find all the multiples of 6 for Mr. Gillen's board and the multiples of 8 for Miss Sanborn. So I'll do 6, 12, 18, 24, and I'm getting this by either thinking 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, or I just add 6 on each time. Now, that's as far as I'll go for now, and then I'm going to start skip counting by 8. And I can stop because when I got to 8 times 3, or 8 plus 8 plus 8, I have already found my least common multiple because they both have 24. So for the question, how much time before they break together again, I can say they will break together again in 24 days. And that's how I'm using the least common multiple to solve that problem. The next one is Mrs. Portnova is making plates of food for a dinner party. So in my head, I'm picturing plates of food for a dinner party. All the plates need to have the same number of pieces of chicken and the same number of pieces of broccoli. So if Mrs. Portnova has 72 pieces of broccoli, and again, I'm going to look for this important information and underline, and 36 pieces of chicken, what is the greatest number of plates she can make? So again, the key words is that all the plates need to have the same number of pieces of chicken and the same number of pieces of broccoli. And I want the greatest number of plates. That word greatest right away should be your hint that you're looking for the greatest common factor. That means what factor of 72 and 36 do they both have in common? So I'm going to start by setting up my T-charts because that's an easy way to keep my work organized. So I'm going to make a T-chart for 72, and I'm going to make a T-chart for 36. And again, I'm going to try and keep it organized. So I'm going to say 1 times 72, and then 2. Say, what's half of 72? And I like to think half of 70 is 35 and half of 2 is 1, so that would give me 36. And then 3, and I ask myself, can 3 go into 72? And it can go in 24 times. So I'm going to keep going until I find all my multiples. Now that I've found all my multiples for 72, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to start with 1 and 36, then go to 2, and half of 36 would give me 18, then 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and then 6 and 6. Again, I'm looking for those turnaround facts. So with 72, 8 times 9, the next one would have been 9 times 8, so I know I can stop. And here I'm at 6 times 6, so I know I can stop too because it's just my turnaround fact. So now again, I want the greatest number of plates that I can make. So I'm going to look for the greatest factor they have in common. Now they have a lot of factors in common, but I'm looking for the greatest. And the greatest factor that they have in common is 36. So I know that my answer is I can make 36 plates. So now I get to the next question. If Mrs. Portanova is making the maximum number of plates, how many pieces of broccoli and chicken will go on each plate? Well, if I'm picturing in my head that I've got 36 plates, and I had 72 pieces of broccoli, well then if there's 36 plates, how many pieces of broccoli can I put on each? Well, to get to 72, I would think 36 times 2. And if you look at your T-chart, you're going to get that answer right here. So I know that I can put 2 pieces of broccoli on each plate, and then I do the same thing by looking at my 36 pieces of chicken, and I know I can put 1 piece of chicken on each plate.